You're listening to Forgotten Fears, The Haunting of Whispering Oaks. Prepare to embark on a bone-chilling journey into the depths of Whispering Oaks Asylum, where darkness reigns and secrets linger in every shadow. Are you brave enough to confront the horrors that await within its decaying halls? As you turn the pages of Forgotten Fears, The Haunting of Whispering Oaks, you'll find yourself enveloped in a world of spine-tingling suspense and heart-pounding terror. With each step deeper into the asylum's abandoned corridors, you'll feel the weight of unease settling over you, your heart racing in anticipation of what lurks around the next corner. The air crackles with tension as you uncover the chilling secrets hidden within the asylum's walls, each revelation sending shivers down your spine. Yet, amidst the darkness and despair, a sense of curiosity gnaws at you, urging you to press on and discover the truth behind Whispering Oaks' tragic history. With every turn of the page, you'll find yourself drawn deeper into the gripping narrative, unable to tear yourself away until you've unraveled the mystery that haunts these forsaken halls. Are you prepared to confront the darkness and confront the horrors that lie in wait within Whispering Oaks Asylum? Only time will tell as you embark on this bone-chilling journey into the unknown. Chapter 1. The Dare. Whispering Oaks Asylum loomed over the city like a brooding specter, its towering silhouette casting long shadows over the surrounding streets. Once a beacon of hope for the mentally ill, it now stood abandoned and forgotten, its once bustling halls now silent and desolate. Yet, despite its ominous reputation, the allure of the asylum was undeniable, drawing thrill-seekers and urban explorers alike to its decaying doorstep. Among those drawn to its dark embrace were Sarah, a fearless thrill-seeker with a penchant for adventure, Jake, her skeptical yet intrigued friend, and Mark, the group's resident skeptic. They stood outside the asylum's imposing gates, their faces illuminated by the pale glow of the moon overhead, each one filled with a mixture of excitement and trepidation.
Are we really going to do this?
Jake asked, his voice tinged with uncertainty. Sarah flashed him a mischievous grin.
Come on, Jake. Where's your sense of adventure?
With a reluctant sigh, Jake nodded, his curiosity getting the better of him. All right, let's do it. But if anything happens, it's on you. Sarah laughed, her laughter echoing off the asylum's crumbling walls.
Deal.
And with that, they pushed open the rusted gates and stepped cautiously into the asylum's foreboding courtyard, their hearts pounding in anticipation of the adventure that lay ahead. Chapter 2. The Entrance. As the group crossed the threshold into the asylum's courtyard, a chill wind swept through the air, sending shivers down their spines. Weeds choked the cracked pavement beneath their feet, and the windows of the asylum loomed overhead like gaping wounds, their broken glass glinting in the faint moonlight. Sarah led the way, her flashlight cutting through the darkness like a beacon in the night. They approached the asylum's main entrance, its heavy doors creaking ominously on their rusted hinges as they pushed them open. The air inside was thick with the scent of decay, and the sound of their footsteps echoed eerily against the asylum's crumbling walls. Shadows danced in the corners of the room, their movements casting strange shapes on the peeling wallpaper. Mark's voice broke the silence, his tone tinged with apprehension. Are you sure about this, Sarah? This place gives me the creeps. Sarah turned to face him, her eyes sparkling with excitement.
Of course I'm sure. This is what we came here for, isn't it? To explore the unknown, to uncover the secrets of this place?
Mark hesitated for a moment, but then nodded, his curiosity getting the better of him. All right, let's do this. But let's stick together, okay? And with that, they plunged deeper into the asylum's dark and forbidding interior, each step bringing them closer to the heart of its chilling mysteries. Chapter 3. The Exploration. As they ventured further into the asylum's depths, the darkness seemed to press in around them, suffocating and oppressive. They passed through corridors lined with peeling paint and cracked tiles, their footsteps echoing hollowly against the cold, tiled floors. Sarah's flashlight flickered as they entered a large open room, its walls lined with rows of rusted beds and forgotten medical equipment. The air was heavy with the scent of mold and decay, and the sound of dripping water echoed from somewhere in the distance. Jake shivered, his voice barely above a whisper. "This place gives me the creeps. I don't think we should be here." But Sarah shook her head, undeterred by his fear.
Nonsense. We're just getting started. There's so much more to see.
And with that, they pressed on, their curiosity driving them ever deeper into the asylum's labyrinthine corridors. But little did they know that with each step they took, they were drawing closer to the chilling secrets that lay hidden within its decaying walls. Chapter 4: The Encounter. As they ventured further into the asylum's depths, they began to hear strange noises echoing through the corridors. The sound of footsteps that seemed to come from nowhere, whispers that drifted on the air like ghostly sighs. Sarah's heart pounded in her chest as she turned a corner and came face to face with a ghostly figure, a young woman with hollow eyes and a tattered hospital gown. The apparition's gaze bore into her soul, its expression filled with a mixture of sadness and longing.
Who are you?
Sarah whispered, her voice trembling with fear. The ghostly figure reached out a spectral hand, its touch icy cold against Sarah's skin.
I am Emily.
It whispered, its voice barely audible above the sound of their pounding hearts.
I am trapped here, doomed to wander these halls for all eternity.
Sarah's breath caught in her throat as she realized the truth. The asylum was haunted, its halls filled with the restless spirits of those who had died within its walls. But before she could react, the ghostly figure vanished into thin air, leaving Sarah and her friends alone in the darkness, their minds reeling with the horror of what they had witnessed. Chapter 5: The Revelation. As they recovered from the shock of their encounter, Sarah and her friends gathered in a nearby room, their faces pale with fear and disbelief. They knew now that the asylum was haunted, its halls filled with the restless spirits of those who had died within its walls. But as they searched for answers, they uncovered something even more terrifying: the truth behind Emily's death. She had been a patient at Whispering Oaks Asylum, a young woman tormented by visions and voices that no one else could hear. As they delved deeper into the asylum's dark past, they uncovered evidence of abuse and neglect, with stories of patients being subjected to cruel experiments and inhumane treatment, and at the center of it all was Dr. Samuel Blackwood, the asylum's former director, whose twisted experiments had driven Emily and countless others to madness. With each revelation, Sarah and her friends felt a growing sense of horror and revulsion, realizing that they were not just exploring an abandoned building. They were uncovering the chilling secrets of a place stained with blood and suffering. But as they searched for answers, they also uncovered something else, a glimmer of hope that perhaps they could help Emily find peace, and in doing so, put an end to the asylum's dark legacy once and for all. Chapter 6: The Confrontation. With their minds reeling from the horror of what they had uncovered, Sarah and her friends set out to confront the malevolent force that haunted the asylum's decaying halls. Armed with nothing but their courage and determination, they ventured deeper into the darkness, their flashlights cutting through the shadows like swords. But as they neared the heart of the asylum, they felt a malevolent presence closing in around them, its icy tendrils wrapping around their hearts and minds. They knew now that they were not just facing the restless spirits of the dead. They were facing something far more sinister, a force that sought to silence them forever. But they refused to back down, their resolve strengthened by their determination to put an end to the asylum's dark legacy once and for all. With each step, they felt the weight of their fear and uncertainty fall away, replaced by a sense of purpose and resolve. And as they entered the asylum's central chamber, they knew that they were ready to face whatever horrors awaited them, no matter the cost. Chapter 7: The Escape. As they entered the asylum's central chamber, they found themselves face to face with the malevolent force that had haunted their nightmares, a swirling vortex of darkness that seemed to devour all light and hope. Sarah's heart pounded in her chest as she raised her flashlight, its beam cutting through the inky blackness like a beacon of defiance. But the darkness fought back, swirling around them with an intensity that made their very bones ache.
We can't let it overpower us.
Sarah shouted above the din, her voice filled with determination. With a surge of adrenaline, they unleashed their fury upon the darkness, their flashlights blazing like swords in the night. But the darkness fought back with a vengeance, lashing out with tendrils of shadow that ensnared them in its grasp. Jake stumbled as he fought to break free, his breath coming in ragged gasps. "It's too strong," he cried, his voice barely audible above the roar of the darkness. But Sarah refused to give up, her grip on her flashlight tightening with determination.
We can't let it defeat us,
she shouted, her voice echoing through the chamber. With one final burst of strength, they banished the darkness from the asylum's decaying halls, their combined efforts sending it screaming into the void. But as they turned to leave, they knew that their battle was far from over. For though they had conquered the darkness that lurked within the asylum's walls, they knew that it would always linger in the shadows, waiting for the moment to strike again. But as long as they stood together, they knew that they could face whatever horrors awaited them, their courage unyielding in the face of darkness's relentless onslaught. Chapter 8: The Resolution. As they emerged from the asylum's decaying halls, Sarah and her friends knew that their journey was far from over. Though they had faced unspeakable horrors and overcome unimaginable challenges, they knew that the darkness would always linger, waiting for the opportunity to strike again. But as they stood together in the pale light of dawn, they knew that they were stronger than they had ever been before. And though the memories of their ordeal would haunt them forever, they knew that they had emerged victorious, their spirits unbroken and their courage unshaken. And as they turned to leave the asylum's crumbling walls behind them, they knew that they would never forget the horrors they had witnessed within its decaying halls. But they also knew that they would always carry with them the echoes of their bravery and the knowledge that they had faced the darkness and emerged triumphant. For though Whispering Oaks Asylum may lie empty and abandoned once more, its dark legacy would live on in the hearts and minds of those who had dared to enter its haunted halls. And as Sarah and her friends moved forward with their lives, they knew that they would always carry with them the echoes of despair, a reminder of the price of uncovering the truth in a world filled with darkness. Chapter 9: The Aftermath. In the days that followed their harrowing ordeal, Sarah and her friends struggled to come to terms with the horrors they had witnessed within the asylum's decaying halls. Though they had emerged victorious, they knew that the scars of their ordeal would linger for a lifetime, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked in the shadows. But as they reflected on their journey, they also knew that they had emerged stronger and braver than they had ever been before. And though they would never forget the horrors they had witnessed, they also knew that they had faced them with courage and determination, their spirits unbroken and their bond stronger than ever. And as they moved forward with their lives, they knew that they would always carry with them the echoes of despair, a reminder of the price of uncovering the truth in a world filled with darkness. But they also knew that they had faced the darkness and emerged triumphant, their hearts filled with the knowledge that they had conquered their fears and emerged stronger on the other side.